Good evening, everybody in Orlando. This one's going to be a cracker because I've been thinking about this one for a while. Now, we've received some updates about Goliath Ventures Inc. And if you've been following the sagas, it's a race to the finish line. And I think I have a massive head start with these guys. They have filed a lawsuit in Florida against me, a New Zealander based in New Zealand, who has no business dealings in Florida. Absolutely hoot. Every time I get an update about Goliath Ventures, I keep thinking to myself, who's going to last the distance here? A reporter who goes after large-scale Ponzi schemes and scams, or someone who's got more money than a bull can shit? Or have they? So I've prepared myself an introduction, which I just wanted to do a personal one first, but something big is actually happening with Goliath Ventures Inc. In their latest message, Christopher Delgado claims they've partnered with new banking collaborators. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? But hold on, everybody. Only 5 months ago, the same company was bragging about working with Merrill, Lynch, Bank of America, the second largest bank in North America. How has that name vanished? What's really happening here? Let me make some room. Let's see what's really happening here. Why did one of the biggest banks in America walk away from a company that says it's worth hundreds of millions? And why are the promoters still promoting the scheme like nothing's wrong? In this investigation, I'm going to break down everything we found. The secret bank switch, the fake transparency, and the people who are still keeping this Ponzi alive. So let's get into it. First things first, I have a box on my screen telling me that I forgot to go live on Rumble because I forgot to set that up. So we always stream on multiple accounts. Now, if you aren't familiar with me and you want to support me in what I do, please considering joining the channel. There's a join button under the video that you're watching right now. Alternatively, you can go to theheck.com and support the work that I do. I don't get paid enough to merit the time and energy I put into this, and I do want to be a full-time investigator. Not that I'm here for the money, but I do really value the support that people are giving me, because I currently have 5 lawsuits going at me at the moment, and all I'm trying to do is report the truth. So if you can support me, and if you can't support me financially, then please consider joining the YouTube channel by subscribing. And I always say to people, if you do join the channel, I will get Sadie to clean the windows. She's very good at it. She doesn't get paid as much as me, but she's brilliant. So that being said, let's get into it. Now, if you're on my website, there is actually a link called Goliath Ventures Inc. And we've actually put the whole history. Now, this is blog number, I think number 17 of memory. And you can go through here and read all the latest happenings. Now, we've got, yes, that's right, that's the head of the FBI shaking hands with Christopher. And there's lots of evidence under the Goliath Ventures Inc. stuff. But if you go right through all the stuff that we've gone through in previous blogs, you'll find that right here at the moment, we've got Goliath Ventures Inc. secret bank switch, the collapse behind the transparency spin. So I asked ChatGPT to put together a lovely thumbnail, and it's done a great job today. We've got Christopher and another guy, which we'll mention in the not too distant future today, and his involvement. And here's Christopher at the bank asking if they will take him on because his company is growing so quick that the expansion is overwhelming the second biggest bank in America. I'm so excited. I can't even get my words out very well. So let's get into it. We're not going to muck around with this one. We're going to, first of all, make it a bit bigger so you guys can read along with me. I think that will do nicely. And we'll come down to the beginning and let's get into it. Let's see if I can actually squeeze that and get it in the right area. Ooh, it's a little bit big. Oh, that should do it. Alrighty. So it was, so I got quite a few emails from people going, have you seen this latest newsletter? And I'm going, yes. But anyway, let's get into it and sit back, get yourself a cup of tea, put me on pause if you have to, and let's get into it. Here's the first paragraph, and I'm going to get my computer to read it. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can read this one. On October the 23rd, 2025, Goliath Ventures Inc. held what was billed as what they said was going to be a 45-minute investor update. So this was their newsletter. They had 3 newsletters ago. But that call, we found out in our previous blog, only lasted 12 minutes. Imagine that. No meaningful questions, no financials, no clarity. That alone would raise eyebrows, not elbows, eyebrows. But that came, oh, look, I can't read. There's no doubt about that. I'm never claimed to be a reader.
That alone would raise eyebrows. But what came next was extraordinary.
I didn't think it made sense. It's going to raise elbows. Anyway, so less than 2 weeks later, in the wake of the largest crypto crash in history, a staggering $380 billion wiped out from global markets in a single day, Christopher surfaced again with a newsletter claiming Goliath had partnered with new banking collaborators. So you can imagine that your whole company is built on crypto. He does, what do they call it? Blockchain technologies. He does liquidity pool, pancake swaps, stuff like that, And also, what was the other? He does crypto mining. We've never seen any proof of it. But big, massive crash, $380 billion gone in a day. And Christopher comes out and says to everybody, don't worry, your money's secure. Trust me. And they're doing an audit that doesn't ever exist. This is crazy. So 5 months earlier, what we're saying, we're going to have to read this because I'm going to get it slightly wrong, but you'll get the gist of it. And it's worthwhile listening to this because if you are invested in this company or you're thinking about getting invested because they're still pitching it to people, you really need to listen to common sense. Here's some common sense for you.
5 months earlier, the same company was boasting about its relationship with Merrill Lynch Bank of America. Now that name has vanished, replaced with vague language about liquidity growth and DeFi innovation. And while the company dodges questions about its finances, promoters are still out there recruiting new investors as if nothing has happened.
So imagine that, right? So second biggest bank in America, just 5 months ago, they had an amazing relationship with them. Let's carry on and see what's actually happened, eh? The big unpack. Now I'm going to have to read it, sorry.
This blog unpacks how Goliath's so-called transparency update is anything but, and why the company's latest moves look less like strategy and more like a desperate scramble to stay alive.
Yeah, so as I said at the start, it's a race to the finish line, whether they're going to get me in the courtroom or whether they're going to get arrested and handcuffed. And that's what we're racing to the finish line with. We're looking back and we can see behind Chris all the law enforcement, the 6 government agencies are following him down the racetrack as he's trying to stay alive. It's crazy. So in the spirit of transparency without any transparency. Now, if you go and you have a look at this letter, this is the letter that he's written. Now, I'm no expert at writing or reading, as I've just proven to you, but look at the spacing here in this letter. And you come down here, and all of a sudden, he forgot to put the spacing in the letter. Now, this is a corporation that we believe is running a large-scale Ponzi scheme, collected $300 to $500 million from mum and dad investors, and now we're getting people contacting us, taking their investments out. And they're getting the money out, and they're taking the dividends as well. Don't do that, but that's a different video. We've done that already. Don't take more money out than you've put in because you'll have it clawed back. Anyway, so this is a professional letter by Christopher, which we've obviously done. And we've compared this to the other letter, which we'll show you in a minute, where the font's even a different type. How unprofessional is this? And this is what we've got from this so far.
On November 7th, 2025, Christopher Delgado sent investors a new Goliath Ventures Incorporated newsletter titled Navigating Growth, a commitment to stability in a dynamic DeFi landscape. It opened with the confident line.
Yeah, so navigating growth. Now, it's not rocket science. I single-handedly, with a team of Avengers and a whole lot of smart people that we've got buttons that go bing, have shunted this company to a halt. If anyone is investors now, and if anyone's investing in this company now and they're still pitching it, they mustn't be on YouTube. They mustn't be able to use Google and do a simple search. Just search for Goliath Ventures scam You'll find all my articles. Go to ChatGPT. Even yesterday, I did if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to my shorts are short little videos in here.
So I just did a search for who is Goliath Ventures Inc. And look.
Now, if you haven't been keeping up with current events in this court trial, they're going to subpoena my ChatGPT or my OpenAI records and also my Grok records. Now, I don't use Grok, just in case you're wondering. And here, I went into Grok and I asked, who is Goliath Ventures? And this short here shows that they're a company that claims that they are given 3 to 8% return on their investments to their investors. And you can go through here and read what Grok actually said. Give it a go and see what happens. But if anyone is actually thinking, I've just noticed a wee error there. I won't go in there and fix it now. But you can see it actually it talks about everything that we've been doing and all the red flags that are around this company. So don't do that. Anyway, so this is what the opening email actually said that I really want you guys to focus on.
In the spirit of transparency, we wanted to update you on a proactive step we're taking, partnering with new banking collaborators to optimize a deposit operations.
So the second biggest bank in America, for some reason, don't know why, because we've been transparent, has stopped providing them services. And now they want to be transparent. And what do they wanted to update perspective, taking forth partner with new bank, because their expansion. So they're expanding so much, so quick that they need a new bank, even though the second biggest bank in America that they claim they have a banking alliance with isn't going to be able to handle them.
It sounds reassuring until you realize that no bank is named, no reason is given, and no evidence accompanies the claim. This is exactly the type of vague reassurance Ponzi operations send out when accounts are frozen and participants start asking questions.
Yeah, we've done a lot of investigations around banks at the moment because we've got some intel that we can't share with you. But there's a reason why their bank is no longer providing services to them. And I would personally like to tell Christopher that I'm directly responsible for reasons that your bank is no longer providing you any services. So I'm running ahead of you now in this race to the finish line. Will Christopher be in handcuffs before Danny gets to the finish line? What's really happening here, guys? This company has already offered me $150,000 to shut up. They are trying to sue me from the state of Florida, when they have closed their company in Florida down, reopened it in Wyoming, but still doing a lawsuit in Orange County against me. And I'm a New Zealander. They don't have jurisdiction. So we have filed a motion to dismiss, and you can't make this shit up, is all I'm saying. But let's carry on and let's see how the race to the finish line is going, Christopher.
If this were true transparency, Goliath would proudly identify its new bank, disclose the reason for the change, and explain how investor funds are protected. Instead, the entire message reads like a smokescreen of corporate buzzwords, or, as many have already pointed out, word salad from a company in crisis.
Word salad from a company in crisis. You couldn't say it better ourselves. So let's first of all, let's show the letter that was just 5 months ago. Now, we have got these letters lined up here. Notice the font. I know this isn't a spelling bee, and I shouldn't criticize people who can spell, apparently. This letter has been written with ChatGPT. You don't need a rocket scientist to see that this letter is not composed by an individual. It's too kind of perfect. Or they could have ran it through ChatGPT afterwards. This one is in completely different font. It's Avial. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And look, this one has got bold words in it, which I do when I write stuff with ChatGPT. This one hasn't got any bold words. So inconsistencies for a start if you were going to pick on formatting areas. But this was a great announcement, which was given back on only May 2025. And it says, from Bank of America, boast banking silence. Oh, hold it. I need to read that correctly. Must get this right. Let's have another go. Let's try that.
From Bank of America boasts to banking silence PDF. Back in May 2025, Goliath claimed to be partnering with Merrill Lynch Bank of America for its custodial and banking needs. That was supposed to be their big credibility moment.
Boom. So you've signed up because you thought, oh my goodness, if the Bank of America's with Goliath Ventures Inc., that must be a good thing. Maybe that was just an advertising ploy. I don't know. And I've actually, to be honest, this isn't the only bank that they have claimed that they're associated with. I did have 3 other banks, which I can't remember because I'm not very good at remembering things unless it's in front of me. But this is another name job. And now we're off to another bank. Look at the photo. Come on, guys. Look at this photo here. Here's Christopher. New banking application. He's standing at the teller. And the crypto, well, I'm not the crypto Ponzi scheme avenger, Danny DeHeck Investigations now, is sitting here going, guys, I can't open a bank account for you guys. Have you not been reading the media? Have you not been reading social media? Oh my goodness. It just gets worse and worse. And I know that's not a word, but I like using that word. So let's carry on. Fast forward to November. What happened?
Fast forward to November, and that name has completely vanished. There's no mention of Merrill Lynch, no explanation for the change, and no accountability for what happened. If a partnership with one of the largest banks in North America truly existed, there would be no reason to hide it now.
Oh, let's not be here all day long, but come on, guys. Merrill Lynch is our bank. And now they've disappeared and we don't want to talk about it.
This silence almost certainly means the relationship ended, most likely because the bank terminated their accounts.
Most likely. Oh, Christopher. $4 million worth of vehicles. You built 5 houses in the last few weeks. Got 2 houses in Dubai. A black Ferrari waiting there for you. 3 of your mates are hanging out in Dubai waiting for you to turn up, doing the big peace signs as they get in their first class seats on the way to Dubai. Yeah, we know what that means, Tomo. Tomo's back in Florida now. Oh, he didn't even come and visit me. Well, nothing. I don't know. I had to put a few notices out to our local enforcement officers that Tomo was in New Zealand, just in case you'd hope they didn't come out with a rubber glove. Oops, sorry about that. Anyway, let's carry on.
Dissolved in Florida, resurfaced in Wyoming, but still operating in Florida. Public records show Goliath Ventures Incorporated was dissolved in Florida on the 3rd of September, 2025, and re-registered in Wyoming on the very same day. They didn't change the name, only the state, which conveniently makes it harder to trace.
Yeah, now I've said this in other blogs and other videos that if you hold a contract with Goliath Ventures Inc. in it, and you signed it before the 3rd of September 2025, then that contract isn't worth the paper it's written on, because theoretically that means that company is still trading and that company's been closed down that you signed that contract with. So theoretically, if you've got, theoretically, everyone's contract should have been renewed. Did your contract get renewed with Christopher? Because he's now opened up in Wyoming. It's a new company, new contracts. Hope you've got the new contract, because otherwise your old contract, and have you got your money out, or is it pending? If it's pending, I would get yourself a lawyer. Toot sweet. Because don't forget, there's no money left here. Do you think a company that claims to have 105% of the dividends that were everyone that puts in all their money has been secured? Because Matt Burke said that they did an independent audit with a minister, a parish, who's now been scrubbed off their website as a parish, Matt Burke, and he claimed that there was all the money that has ever been invested into Goliath Ventures is secured by the bank. Now, would it be likely that a bank that has $300, maybe $500 million doesn't want your business anymore? Maybe, and it's just my opinion, maybe that bank's concerned about where that money's come from. Maybe the AML laws haven't got all their buttons ticked and they don't want to touch your dirty money anymore. Maybe that's the case. I'll let you do your thinking about that. Why would a bank that theoretically had more money than a bull can shit coming in from a customer not want your business anymore? Or are you for real, Chris? Are you really telling us that you decided that the second largest bank in America can't handle your growth, and you've decided to move it to another bank, which we don't know the name of yet, which we're working on, but we'll find out? And also, any whistleblowers want to come to us and tell us what bank they're now. So anyone that's about to invest and you're going to put your money in, because when you fill out the form that I'm about to show you, the form will actually ask you whether you want to put cryptocurrency in or fiat currency in. And if you want to put fiat, that's standard money, in case you don't know how that works, then they'll need a bank for you to deposit your money. So maybe you could pretend that you want to invest in Goliath Ventures Inc. and find out what bank you now pay the money into. And I would love to know what checks that bank actually does when they handle money that has come in. So I come along with $100,000 and I'm going to put it into a bank, and that bank doesn't want to know where that money comes from. I think it will. It will when we get hold of them. So it's not going to last long, is it?
Wyoming is notorious for limited disclosure laws, allowing companies to obscure ownership and financial activity. Despite this move, Goliath continues to operate from Florida, use Florida-based contacts, and maintain the illusion of business continuity. It's the same name, same leadership, and same story, just a new filing address.
Yeah, so I probably don't need to go on about this, but every time I'm going after a Ponzi scheme or a scam and it's registered in the state of Wyoming, it's just red flag central. And also, hello, Jelly Snack, nice to see you here. I don't have any currency. Well, that's good to know. You're like me then. So that's the truth of it. So here they are still operating in Florida, and obviously now they have set themselves up in Wyoming. This isn't a setback. The language of panic. This isn't a setback. So Christopher Letter insists, this isn't a setback, but a testament of our growth. Have you ever heard of such crap in your life? Whenever a company feels compelled to say something isn't a setback, it usually is. He blames traditional banks for being risk adverse, a common excuse used when banks close accounts for compliance reasons. This is not innovation, it is damage control. I think it would be fair for us to read the letter if we can, and I don't know if we can. I'm just wondering if I've got it off screen here, because I think it'd be worthwhile having a listen, and I think I have got it in a way where we can actually potentially read it. 1 second, please, caller. I just want you to get the feel of this letter. So I'll see if I can actually get it read. I'll just see how clever I am with my computer skills here. Let's see. Oh, yes, we can. So let's see. So dear. All right. So this is the actual letter, and we'll read it in the background.
Dear valued participants, as we continue to thrive in the ever-evolving world of decentralized finance, it's heartening to reflect on the broader political momentum building around crypto innovation. Recent discussions in Washington and global regulatory forums signal a promising shift toward frameworks that embrace stablecoins and liquidity provision as pillars of the future financial ecosystem. We're optimistic that these developments will soon unlock even greater efficiencies for ventures like ours, fostering a more inclusive and innovative economy. In the spirit of transparency, we wanted to update you on a proactive step we're taking, partnering with new banking collaborators to optimize our deposit operations. This isn't a setback, but a testament to the growth of our liquidity-providing strategies. As demand for our business increases, driven by your trust and a shared vision, traditional banks, with their understandable risk-averse postures, occasionally find it challenging to scale alongside our agile, crypto-native model. It's a classic case of bridging worlds. The steady guardianship of fiat rails meeting the bold frontiers of DeFi. Rest assured, these transitions are seamless for us, ensuring uninterrupted strategies and...
Hold it. And it stopped. Why did it stop? Why did it stop? Let's clean my glasses. Hold it. Let's have another look here. For us, rest assured. Okay, let's have a look. Let's try the last part. I don't know exactly where we're up to, but I think we'll get the gist of it. Let's go. Nope.
Dear valued participants, as we continue to thrive in the ever-evolving world of decentralized finance...
No, it's not going to happen unless I do this. Hold it. Let's go to the rest. Danny's good at this game. Okay, so here we go.
It's a classic case of bridging worlds. The steady guardianship of fiat rails meeting the bold frontiers of DeFi. Rest assured, these transitions are seamless for us, ensuring uninterrupted strategies and security for your contributions. By diversifying our banking relationships, we're not just reacting to the market, we're shaping it. With stablecoins poised to gain clearer regulatory green lights, we anticipate even smoother integrations ahead, unlocking new opportunities for all of us. Thank you for your continued trust and partnership. Together, we're not just providing liquidity, we're pioneering the future of finance. If you have any questions, our team is here to chat.
Right, would love to chat to you guys. You're not answering my emails, just saying. But here I did notice that they said diversifying our banking relationships. So they could theoretically still be with the second largest bank in America. Who knows? But remember, you don't need to worry, ladies and gentlemen, because they are being 100% transparent. In the spirit of transparency, we want to update you on a proactive step. Now, this letter has all been written with ChatGPT. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. So let's just ask some basic common sense questions. This paragraph does nail one of those common sense questions for a crypto company.
Why does a DeFi company need a traditional bank? For a group that claims to be a DeFi liquidity provider, reliance on old-fashioned banking is suspicious. True DeFi operations work on-chain, through smart contracts, liquidity pools, and blockchain protocols. If Goliath were really operating that way, it wouldn't need banks at all.
Now, the other DeFi companies that we expose who are running fraudulent operations don't do anything with real money or real banks. And I would only assume that would have been better for Christopher to actually come out and say that they're doing away with traditional banks. Because remember, DeFi is all about decentralization. So if you've built a company on crypto technology and blockchain, as they say on their website, which in case you've just tuned in, you haven't been going through here, the three major things that this company claims to be able to give 60% return on their investments is blockchain technology, liquidity pools, and Bitcoin mining. They all don't exist. We haven't seen any proof of anything, and it's mathematically impossible to make the money that they are theoretically making, if it isn't a Ponzi scheme, from liquidity pools. Blockchain technology, well, they have acquired a few companies, but we ain't have any proof of that. Any companies they do acquire, we would be interested to look at their books, just let's put it that way. So, yeah, so did we, I think we did read that, didn't we?
The constant references to deposit operations and banking relationships suggest that all investor money is being handled through standard fiat accounts, not blockchain-based systems. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah. So how do they handle the money laundering side of it? What do they call it? The AMA stuff. How do they handle that? I would love to know, because they've obviously got a strategy that is world class. Sorry.
The AI tone and amateur formatting. Both the May and November newsletters feature mismatched fonts, erratic formatting, and buzzwords like bridging worlds and pioneering the future of finance. This reads more like an AI written MailChimp template than a professional corporate statement from a multi-million-dollar financial company. It's all style, no substance.
Yes, I'm just looking at these letters. This is it here. So this is the May letter, and this is their latest one. He forgot to set the font, and then he's got double spacing, as I mentioned earlier on, and then down the bottom here, if you look at it in its entirety, you can see that there's standard font here. So it's a very poor letter. So thank you to all the people that forwarded me a copy of that letter. I really think that was awesome. What have we got here? The AI tone, AI formatting. Right, so independent promoters are still recruiting new investors. Right, so we've come up with some intel, and I thought we'd give you an example of someone who's promoting it. So this is the person that I'm talking to there. Now this is on YouTube, so this is publicly available information, but I want to give you a 58-second introduction to Eric Rideman, because he's a surgeon, right? Okay, here we go.
My name is Eric Rideman. I'm a board-certified general surgeon, fellowship trained in robotic and minimally invasive general surgery.
Now, the problem I'm going to have with this, I've just realized there's a bit of music in the background. So if you are listening to this, I'll probably get flagged for copyright issues, and that means that you won't be able to hear all his words. Now, I'm not going to include this video here, but I think we've got the idea here. What we're going to do is turn the sound down. But what Eric is doing here, he's telling everyone that he's a kick-ass surgeon, and he's probably got more. He actually explains to people that he operates on people, and after they've had the operation, they become friends. So he's obviously done a very, very good job at being a surgeon. So the question I have for Eric, why have you given up yourself a prominent job and a respectable job in the industry to become someone who is now promoting a Ponzi scheme? Are you so intelligent that you can actually look at somebody's body, cut them open with a knife and save their life, and then stop doing what you were doing and start promoting Goliath Ventures Inc. Now, at the original investors meeting that they had, that we originally found the video that had 39 people look at it, and we found it. It was ran by Piers Curry and Matt Burke and Christopher Delgado. They were telling people to set up their own companies. At that time, it looks like this wonderful doctor here that saves people's lives and now is taking their incomes is now stopped doing what he's doing and promoting Goliath Ventures Inc. He's even set himself up a company that's very similar, and that's what they were instructed to do. So he is the proud owner of a company called Goldpoint Ventures LLC. And I'm going to explain that to you and why this individual is disgusting and he should have stayed at doing what he's doing. Now, we have written to him, and I did it this morning, and the email bounced back. Since then, we've had 2 other email addresses sent out to him, and we've sent that to him. And also, we've got his phone number. So, wonder if I should ring him. I might ring him. I'll have a look. I'll just see how we get on. 1 second, please, caller.
Independent promoters still recruiting new investors, even after the Florida dissolution. Individuals are still promoting Goliath Ventures Incorporated. One of the most active is Dr. Eric D. Rideman, a former Florida surgeon who left medicine in 2024 and registered a small business called Goldpoint Ventures LLC at his home address in Sanford, Florida. New investors.
Oh, hold it. Sorry, I think I might have cut some of that. Yeah, so we found out his home address. Now, what I'm going to actually do, I'm actually going to give Eric a phone call. And I'm going to see if he's available, because I'm sure I had him here. Where is he? There it is. So I found his phone number, and I'm just going to send him a link. And if you're watching, Eric, you're more than welcome to come online, and I'll just give you the join Danny D. Heck on stage button. And anyone that wants to join me online at the moment who's connected to this, who might want to, give out their 2 cents with, there's a link in the chat room. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to go back to this, and so this is the amazing thing. So it's all very well that how do I say this? It's all very well to go out there promote something that you think is real, true, and genuine. As far as I'm aware, Eric isn't a financial advisor, so he shouldn't be giving financial advice. Remember, these bottom feeders have actually gone after people's K1, is it their retirement money? And originally, Matt Burke and Piers Curry were telling people how to be careful they don't get flagged for elderly abuse. And that's what really got my back up, because they were going after the retirement money. So if you move your retirement fund from one entity to another, I understand that there's a fee or a penalty for doing so. So retirement money is a fantastic way to run a Ponzi scheme, because you get people's money and then you pay the new investors, you pay the old investors with the money that you get. But in the meantime, the retirement funds that people put into there, they don't want to transfer them out when they hear things like Danny DeHeck saying it's a scam, get your money out, because they get a penalty. So it's sort of the ideal money to go after. So this guy here is still recruiting, and I've got proof of that, which is disgusting. He should have stayed a surgeon, or we would be really interested to know why you're no longer a surgeon. I don't know what the answer to that question is, but we have actually asked you, and we'll point that out in a minute. But we're going to read this paragraph, and then we'll try ringing our friend here on the screen.
To be clear, there's no proven connection between Goldpoint Ventures LLC and Goliath Ventures Incorporated. However, Rideman has been actively encouraging others to join Goliath, positioning himself as an independent recruiter. He's even shared an onboarding link hosted on Microsoft 365 that asks new participants to submit personal details before sending funds. That link remains live at the time of writing. This clearly shows that promotion is ongoing, even as the company struggles to maintain banking relationships and legitimacy.
Right, so let's visit that onboarding link and see what happens here. Now, it could have been taken down. No. So this is a link that Eric is sending out to people. And as you can see, it's still got black block, not black block. Hold it. Block. No, there's another company out there called Black something or other. But what I'm getting at here is this company was actually owned by, I think Piers Curry or maybe Matt Burke were meant to be the founders of it. And this was where the independent audit was done was from Black Block. And we also have Wealth Management MD. But if you went to mywealthmd.com and my Black Block, you can still see these companies exist today. This is still happening. This is happening in the last few days. So people can actually, BlackRock, thank you. BlackRock is a like-minded company, but not the same company. So when you come here, this form is, so this is what you're going to get.
This form is a request for BlackBlock's internal team to begin onboarding your new participant. Complete this step before receipt of funds.
Right, so BlackBlock was actually originally an independent company. We've heard since, even though they did an independent audit on Goliath Ventures Inc. that was done by Matt Burke, who is a parish who's now been scrubbed off their website, this is meant to be merged into one. So BlackBlock theoretically shouldn't exist, but they're still using this onboarding request. So what's going on here, guys? And maybe they're doing all the trading under BlackBlock, my BlackBlock, you know what I'm saying? So the first thing they want us to do, and we'll fill this out, I don't know, is your name. And I think this is direct sponsor. So we were told to use Nick. Is it Nick? Nick. All right. We're going to go to their website and we're going to go look at their team members, My Impact, About Us, our team members. And we were meant to use, it was recommended that we use Nick. There we go. Nick Patello. Participant's name. Let's go Danny D. Heck. And participant's email. Let's go Danny again. Danny D. Heck. Confirm. Do you like how I use shortcuts? Pretty good, aren't they? Right. So they want to know whether I am a US citizen or a non-US citizen. So I tick that one. And then down the bottom here, I now have how much percentage I want to get back on my return on investment. So I'm going to go 4% because that means I have to, theoretically, going by the contracts that we have, invest over $500,000 into a Ponzi scheme and say goodbye to that money for the rest of my life. And the type of funds being onboarded. So is it going to be cash? So I can come along with cash, give it to Christopher, and he will give me a return on my investment. Isn't that crazy? Who the hell trades in cash these days? But anyway, or crypto. Well, no. And notice here, this is really cool. Now, I can tell you that government departments have looked at this form. They loved it. Qualified 401k. That's your retirement money, isn't it? I don't even know IRA. Is that where they go after your if you're a fireman, you have a pension of some sort? Is that what that is? So I'm going to do qualified 401k and I'm going to submit. Never give out your password, report abuse. So let's go submit. And what happens? Ready to go? Here it is. Now, this is the real cool part. Thank you for filling out this form for your new partner. We will begin the onboarding process within 72 hours. Now, I've actually filled out this form 72 hours ago. Nothing's happened, but that doesn't mean that they haven't rejected me and they know who I am. We will notify you and Nadia. Nadia is the bookkeeper that works for Samuels. Isn't that crazy? So Nadia is the bookkeeper that can run a company as a bookkeeper who shut down her company on the 2nd of September and reopened it up in Wyoming as well, she's going to contact me. When it's complete, the account is deemed good order. So there you go. So that's the onboarding request. So that's still operational today, and I have verified facts that people have been asked to submit their details via that recently. So I think it would be better to actually ring up this guy now and see if he answers the phone. And let's have a listen. It's probably a bit late in Florida right now, but hopefully you can hear that. We'll see if Eric answers. Pick up your phone, Eric. Hello, Susie. Nice to see you here. Just ringing up Eric. Ask him what his involvement is with Eric Ventures. He's very quiet. I'm going to see whether he has an iPhone. What do you call it? Eric. Oh my God, he's got an iPhone. That means I can ring him on FaceTime. Okay, let's do this. All right, hold on 1 minute, please. FaceTime. Let's go new. Eric D. Rideman. There we goes. And mobile. All right, so let's do this. Let's go. Oh, I'm naughty, aren't I? Let's ring him. Well, he probably would be quite interested. He might not know it's a scam. He might think it's the real deal. Oh, what am I doing here? Add name. How do I ring him? Oh, look, I might do this properly. Hold on 1 minute, please. Caller. All good things come to those who wait. Patience is a virtue. Eric. Rideman. There it is. And we want to... Oh, why doesn't it let me just ring it? Hold it. Why isn't this going right? FaceTime. How do we use FaceTime these days? New call. FaceTime. Okay, so we're going to go FaceTime, new call, Eric, that's him there. Oh, it doesn't allow me to do it. Okay, so now I'm going plus. It just doesn't want to work. Link, new name, link, copy, messages. I'm just don't know what's going wrong here. So we'll just ring him. I'll just do it. There it is. Ring. Oh no, it's gone back to the old phone call. Oh, Eric, make it easier for me. Why can't I just ring him on hello? Okay, so now I've sent him a message. It might make it easier for me to ring him. There we go. Now I've got it. Doing it the old-fashioned way, the way I know. Let's see if we can get him. And then we'll go through and show the letter that we got. Ask him if he received my email. Oh, it's a bit crackly.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hello, Eric. This is Danny D. Heck. I'm trying to send you an email, and I sent it to the first email address that I got given, and it bounced back. I have sent it to 2 other email. Oh, it hung up. That's interesting. Should we try FaceTime then? Let's just do a video call on him. Oh, it might be a bit quiet until it answers up. So let's see. It's a bit quiet. Hopefully it will go noisy when he answers. Some people don't want to talk to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's late at night and he's out for dinner. But we'll keep ringing it. No. Doesn't look like he's going to want to talk to us. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's what Judge Judy would have said. That form something isn't following protocol. I reckon it could be a random form that somebody set up But that's a good question. Submit another response. So, so these forms that you want are on the website. I don't think this form's going to stay here for much longer. And the fact that it's got black block onboarding request when we know that they've now claimed that that company is, in one thing. But anyway, as I said, we have written an email to this man here, and this is what we have written to him, and we'll read it while we're looking at his face. Obviously, I've tried ringing him. He hasn't answered for some reason. Don't know why. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to Danny the Heck Investigations. Who knows?
Subject: clarification of your role and activities relating to Goliath Ventures Incorporated and Goldpoint Ventures LLC. Dear Dr. Rideman, my name is Danny D. Heck. I'm an investigative journalist currently examining the operations of Goliath Ventures Incorporated, its affiliates, and associated promoters. Your name has surfaced repeatedly during my research, and I want to give you a fair and direct opportunity to comment before publication.
Yeah, so this is what I said.
According to public records, you founded Goldpoint Ventures LLC on February 24, 2025, listing your home address in Sanford as the registered office. Given the similarity of this name to Goliath Ventures Incorporated and the timing of the filing, could you please clarify?
Yeah, Goldpoint. It even starts with G-O-L. Amazing, isn't it? It's close. So that's quite good. Anyway, let's get on to
Your
it.
precise role and relationship with Goliath Ventures Incorporated and any of its affiliates or partners.
So we do actually send these letters out because we want people to give us a reply, but normally we get crickets, so we're still open-minded to it. And as I'm reading this, I'll just check my email, make sure he hasn't replied already.
Whether you are aware that Goliath Ventures Incorporated was formally dissolved in Florida on September 3, 2025, and if so, why you are still appearing in communications that promote or onboard new participants.
Right, so I think they're pretty valid questions.
The purpose and business activity of Goldpoint Ventures LLC, and whether it has taken over or continues any functions of Goliath Ventures Incorporated.
Yep. So we want to know what your involvement is.
Why you appear to have ended your surgical career at Advent Health Central Florida and transitioned into promoting investment products rather than continuing in medicine.
Yeah, I think that would be a really big question. Is like you've thrown away your career or something else happened that you want to tell us. Well, maybe you don't want to tell us, but I think it's a valid question. Why would you give up a job where you actually save people's lives? Or maybe you are still on call. I'd like to know what happened. I think that's a valid question. And we're allowed to ask questions. We just might not get the answers.
Why, after my outreach on LinkedIn, you chose to block my account rather than respond, something that seems inconsistent with transparent professional conduct if the opportunity you represent is legitimate.
Yeah, so it's always heartbreaking when, like I, reach out to people. I'm just I check my email and I can't see anything there. Just if we look again, just making sure they haven't got anything in my inbox right now. And I know it takes a wee while to write messages, but if I went to LinkedIn and typed in his name at the moment, it tells me it doesn't exist, which means he's actually blocked me, which is just gutting. It's just not nice. It's not nice. But because I'm the crypto Ponzi scheme avenger, I'm actually Danny Tech Investigations, I'm never going to get rid of that. I've actually got another account where I can see Eric here. I can also go through, we save these as PDFs so that we can come back to them. And we read about this was quite staggering.
Eric Rideman, LinkedIn.
Oh, does that not read it for me? Let's try again.
I am a board-certified fellowship-trained general surgeon. I specialized in advanced laparoscopy and robotic surgery as well as obtained by fellowship training in bariatric surgery. I have been in medicine for 16 years and practiced general surgery for 8.5 years in the Orlando area. I worked as one of the top producing by RVU in the country in the 99th percentile and obtained glowing Prisi-Gani scores from patients. I am looking for a change in career, one that allows me to use not only my skills and knowledge of medicine globally, but my business acumen to help grow and/or help with growth in a company. I have that unique ability to bridge the gap between what the business executives want and what the medical team needs.
Sounds a bit fishy, doesn't it? Sounds like he's looking for another career and he's not happy with what he's done. Well, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like he's found it. So let's carry on with the letter that we've written to Eric.
I'd also like to give you the chance to provide verifiable documentation supporting the legitimacy of Goliath Ventures Incorporated and any related entities. In particular, please supply proof of actual liquidity pool operations or swaps taking place on blockchain networks, evidence of mining or staking activities, including on-chain transactions or wallet addresses, details of any acquired blockchain technology companies, partnerships, or audited financial statements.
Yeah. So, what number have we got here? Yeah, so anything, we're struggling to find any proof of anything they're saying that they're going to do. But no doubt, Eric, if you are promoting it, then maybe you know something that we don't know, because I'm sure that you haven't gone from saving lives to stealing people's retirement money. I hope not, but let us see what
If the business is genuine, this is your opportunity to present clear evidence. If not, you have an ethical duty, as a former medical professional and fiduciary, to distance yourself from potential misconduct and assist in preventing further investor losses.
Yeah, so that would be a pretty good question. I'm just in the background here being a bit naughty, but I'm still trying to get life out of Eric. And I'm also going to send him a request to see if he wants to come and join us on stage. So at the end of that letter, we'll welcome your reply to us directly with email, official email, and I also linked through to the Goliath Ventures page to discuss the matter confidentially. Whoops. I will keep it confidential. We don't mind. I can even scrub this from the internet because that's what we're used to doing. Eh? No, we don't scrub nothing from the internet, ladies and gentlemen. This is all public record now. If you wish to come forward as a whistleblower, we won't tell anyone. I will protect your identity. Whoops. Handle any information in discretion. So you can tell us what you know and why you thought this was a real business opportunity. I'm fine with that. If you are, all of a sudden you woke up and you thought, oh my God, I did 8 years training as a surgeon, and now I've been a surgeon for over 16 years, and then I've dabbled into crypto and I've stuffed up, and I didn't realize what I'm doing, and I would like to hand over, not like our last whistleblower who was trying to save his ass, but here's all the contracts that I've signed people up. Here's all the people that I've unfortunately got involved in this Ponzi scheme. We would welcome you with open hands. Not that we need any more, but more the merrier. Because remember, as I said at the start, it's a race to the finish line. Christopher's trying to chase me down. I'm well ahead at the moment. Christopher isn't looking behind him because he's focused on his target of trying to scam people, but he's been chased by 6 different government agencies down the track as he tries to run and chase down Danny the Heck Investigations. So the big picture, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the big picture. What's actually going on with Goliath Ventures Inc. right now?
This latest newsletter marks a turning point. Goliath Ventures Incorporated is no longer projecting confidence, it's managing panic. The dissolution in Florida, the quiet move to Wyoming, the disappearance of its so-called Bank of America partnership, and the continuing recruitment through independent promoters all point to a company in survival mode. Until Goliath can provide audited financials, on-chain liquidity proof, and verifiable banking information, every investor should treat this as a high-risk operation.
Yeah, no, this isn't a witch hunt. I didn't wake up one morning and all of a sudden decide to go after Goliath Ventures Inc. for no reason. Somebody said, take a look at this company. I started doing an investigation, and this is how we've got to 17 blogs later. I've never done an investigation like this, but now they've come after me. Oh, no. And why they come after me? Because they could have just answered some basic questions I asked them at the start, just like I sent Eric a letter. I want him to answer it. He can put his right of reply on this blog. I'm not hiding the fact. So do it. Answer my questions. Reach out to us. We'll keep you anonymous, but help us be a whistleblower. You know, the more evidence, you can never have too much incriminating evidence, which I find hard to believe.
Key contradictions: readers should weigh transparency without names, no bank disclosed, old or new. May versus November. Boast of Merrill Lynch Bank of America becomes silence. Dissolved in Florida same day Wyoming filing. Jurisdiction switch with no investor explanation. DeFi claim versus bank reality. Heavy reliance on fiat deposit operations, not on-chain proof. Ongoing recruitment by independents. Personal networks keep inflows alive despite legal turbulence.
Yeah, crazy. Opening questions Goliath Ventures must answer but hasn't. So these are questions that you, as an investor, who might be sitting on the fence thinking, oh, Danny's doing this for YouTube clicks, God save me, no offense to God, then you really want to figure out, you know, if that's the case, then ask these questions. You're an investor. You've got money in it. I got a message from someone today who tells me that he's got 10 million in Goliath Ventures. And I'm going, okay. And what do they say? It's absolutely crazy. Well, I'll see if I can actually bring it up, which is really interesting. What have we got? I don't know if it's here, but somewhere along here, somebody claims to have $10 million. So yeah, so I've this person claims to be a whale. Has told me that I've asked them. A little birdie told me that you're an investor or are an investor with Goliath Ventures Inc. And then he comes back and goes, yes, 10 million. This guy that I was talking to, referring to, claims to be in California, traveled all the way to see Christopher. One of his memes reached out to me and said, my mate would really be keen to talk to you. And we've just got crickets ever since. And now I've started instigating a conversation with this mystery person that's put $10 million in it, who doesn't want to talk to the person that knows everything that's going on with Goliath Ventures Inc. It's a bit strange. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. So technically speaking, some mystery guy out there's been communicating with me who's put 10 million in. It's not our biggest investor, if it is true, but doesn't really care. But if you do care, then I'd be asking these questions. What banks are currently handling deposits, custody, and withdrawals in writing? Why did the supposed Bank of America, Merrill Lynch partnership disappear from disclosure? So as I said, when I read that, it might be that they're diversifying. Don't know, but let's be transparent, because that's what the letter was all about. Where are the audits that you keep talking about, and who's doing the audits would be what I'd be asking. Financial settlements and reserve, what's that word?
Attestations.
Don't know what that word means anyway. Anyway, didn't need that word. There is an on-chain, where is the on-chain evidence, wallet, pools, positions, contract, hashes, LP tokens? Come on, you're a liquidity provider. Come on, tell us this stuff. Why are the Florida dissolution? I have to read this. Why?
Why the Florida dissolution and why Wyoming the same day?
What licenses, if any, permit them to solicit investments across states or countries? Because you've got to have every I dotted and every T crossed if you're going to do that sort of stuff. So what licenses have you got? We've done searches on people like Pierce Curry in the past, and he's got no licenses. He's nobody. And he was claiming to be a financial advisor. And he was talking about all his mates who have been struck off the financial regulatory licenses because they weren't following protocol. And here he is. He hasn't got any protocol of his own. He's a nobody.
Practical guidance for anyone approached by a promoter: ask for the bank name, in writing and verify independently. Demand on-chain proof, addresses, pool positions, or contract interactions. Request audited financials and valid licenses, not letters of intent or NDAs. Never fill out onboarding forms collecting personal data before proof is provided. Walk away if you're told you'll see everything after you join, or friends and family exceptions.
Yeah. So conclusion, not innovation, just containment. There's nothing transparent about Goliath. There's nothing transparent about what Goliath is doing. When a company hides its bank, moves jurisdiction overnight, and relies on personal recruiters instead of public proof, that's not innovation, that is desperation. Now, just think about what I just said there. They move jurisdictions overnight. They never have addressed that. We have found that out. My team of adventurers said, look at this, they've closed down the company. And I thought, oh my God. And then we found out it turned up the next day in the state of Wyoming. That is major, shutting down a company. Anyone still promoting Goliath Ventures Inc. or encouraging others to invest should pause and ask themselves the question, if this company is legitimate, where's the proof? It's not rocket science. Hey, look, guys, I'm not going to go on and on about this one. This is just a quick one. But we've done 17 blogs on this. So if you're just hitting the ground running and you're trying to catch up and you are invested and you've put $100,000, spend $1,000 of your time just reading the content that we currently have. It's as thorough as we get. Somebody was asking me for a catch up and they were suggesting that we did certain things, and that's great. Thank you. But I said, oh, you want to go back and read our blogs because we've covered everything. So the first thing is we looked at the contracts. That was the first smoking gun that we got. How they're compliant was just an illusion. They said that we were running a smear campaign and we were jealous. I mean, for God's sake. Bookkeeper vanished, as I said. Nadia, her name's still relevant on those forms. Nadia actually works for a guy called Samuel, somebody rather, and he's registered about 500 companies in his name. And we've actually used some pretty gnarly software and grouped all those companies together that Samuel's has actually, registered. And then we found out that Nadia Bringus was actually working for the company that was registering, and she's just a bookkeeper. And she shut down her company on the 2nd of September and reopened it on the 3rd. So what's going on there? Fake audits. Well, we proved that their audits are fake. Matt Burke was scrubbed from his website where he was at the local parish for his church. They scrubbed him. He's now back there, but no description. Still got his arm around his wife, so his wife must be proud of him. But Matt Burke is definitely going to prison. Mark my words. Now, FinCEN registration. Now, if you're going to handle money or have any money licenses to handle people's money, you need to be licensed. So FinCEN's registration doesn't exist. So what's going on there? In either state of Florida or also in Wyoming, there's no licenses for them to handle money. Now, we talked about clawbacks, the importance of understanding that if you have received, we had a guy the other day who wanted to be a whistleblower, but what he really wanted to do was save his ass and asking how far the investigation's going down the track. All his information has now gone on to our persons of interest. He put $100,000 in it. He took out the $100,000 that he put into it and his dividends as well. I said you shouldn't have touched the dividends, you idiot, because that will get done with clawbacks, and the government's not going to come along, knock on your door and go, I hear that you got $15,000 out of your investment with Goliath Ventures, and you hand it back and they walk away. They're going to freeze his company. They're going to go through his company and check everything is in order. Companies, in my opinion, may be used to do money laundering. So if you've got a company and you've invested in Goliath Ventures Inc. and you've taken out more money than you put in, you're not an investor, you could be an accomplice. So you have to get some legal advice on that if you have done it. But my advice to anybody is to take out exactly what you put in and take it out. Go report this to your local authorities, which would be in Florida. They already know about it anyway. Trust me. And otherwise, you're going to be subject to clawbacks. So the securities question, unregistered securities, are those contracts going to save you? Those contracts aren't going to save you. They're like toilet paper. So that was what number 8 was about. Number 9, remember we've got 17 of these. What a real fund company would look like. Just imagine that Christopher was running a legitimate company. What would the real company that handles this sort of stuff look like? Would it be a guy that's writing newsletters on his lap in the evenings, drinking a bottle of $2,000 champagne or having a $1,000 bottle of tequila sitting beside him as he's drinking away? He's bought his girlfriend $1 million worth of gifts over the last 12 months. Nice new handbag there, by the way, love. And all those things. You know, you've got 5 properties being purchased. You've got $4 million worth of cars. You've got Learjet rides around the world. You know, you went to New York. It cost $250,000 to hire a plane to do that. You've given money away to charity. You know, all these things that he's doing isn't what you would expect to see from a legitimate company that was claiming to produce you, get this, 60% returns per year. 60%. $100,000 in. In 12 months' time, you're going to have $60,000 sitting there for you. And you'll be encouraged to leave the money in and compound it because they don't want you to withdraw money. In fact, what they want you to do is recruit. And if you recruit, you'll get a higher percentage of 3%, 4%, 5%, 8%. We've heard up to 8% that people are being claimed to get. Now, Piers Curry, he's put everything into it. He's a real clever guy because he's meant to be a financial advisor. And he's about to withdraw money so he can buy himself and his wife a beautiful new house. He's about to test the platform. Now, he's been in it for well over 12 months, as far as I'm aware. We've even wrote to his companies that he was associated with. They didn't want to even reply to us, but they scrubbed him from the website that he was used to be. But we found him sitting there in, what do we call it, archive.org. There he is sitting there working for those companies. So we don't know your involvement. If you want to remain silent and just hope it doesn't come and hit me in the face, then do that. But I would encourage you to reach out to us. We can put you in touch with anybody you want. We've got full-blown reporters ready to listen to your story. We've got government agencies that want your intel. Now, there was a lady called Brenda Chunga. She brought in $640 million for a Ponzi scheme that I did my apprenticeship on called Hyperverse. She went in on I think it was 2022, could be 23, went in to the police, For 3 hours, she came out and she was an informant, and I knew she was an informant because the IRS told me that she had come in for questioning. They'd let her out. Would you believe that? You probably won't believe that, but that's what I got found out from the IRS. She today is still free. She's admitted guilt at promoting $640 million worth of dividend income for a Ponzi scheme. She claimed that she only ever made $1 million out of it because she won $1 million in a prize, but we know that she would have got 20% of that money. She is loaded. However, in saying that, the world is mysterious how it works. She's still a free lady, even got married twice to the same man, once in his country and once in her country, so she can still travel. She became a whistleblower. That's a much better course to take than sitting there on your hands hoping that no one's going to knock at your door. Because we've currently got over 130 people on our person of interest list. They may not all be actively involved in promoting it, but they have been connected to people who are trying to build communities to encourage people to invest. Because that's why Christopher has got all these photos of him shaking hands with Donald Trump, Eric Trump, was it Kel Patel? I get his name, the director of the FBI. We've got Michael Johnson, the Speaker of the House. He stood up in the White House and pledged $2 million to a fentanyl charity. A week later, he was doing posts on LinkedIn claiming he was there for Crypto Day using the same images. Every dirty tat that you can think of. Now, I discussed a lot of this in other blogs, and I don't want to go on too long, but we did actually discuss here, number 9, what a real company would look like. It wouldn't look like some pisshead pissing up and spending every cent he owns on jets, alcohol, $1 million for the girlfriend, 5 new houses, $4 million worth of cars, 2 houses in Dubai, and a black Ferrari. Stolen money, gifts, people who are profiting from, Christopher's spending right now. What's the danger of doing so? This number 10 blog was all about that. FBI director, here we go, Kash Patel, I always get that wrong. Kash Patel, Ron, I can't even say his DeSantis, and photos with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, it's amazing. So we've got gangster video, and photos with government agencies. This one's got it all, ladies and gentlemen. And then they're trying to sue me for telling the truth, which is wicked. And then they try to take down my videos. So I've actually had 8 copyright strikes in the last month. I've only got 1 standing at the moment, which was by another company. But this is what they do to silence me. And I've even produced, if you go to the Contact Us page on my website, you'll see I've got smear campaigns where I list the websites that people are putting online to defame me. It's quite hilarious. But copyright strikes, keep bringing them up. We know how to handle those now. But normally when you have 3, you get your YouTube channel taken down, and they know that. But when you submit fake copyright strikes, you actually get your IP tracked. And it was also, I did give an example on how I gave 3 examples how people were actually being prosecuted by YouTube for abusing their system. And that was something I'd be very aware with. So Goliath Ventures Inc. I've had, I think it's 3, maybe 2 videos had copyright strikes of Goliath Ventures videos. Not saying, I can't prove where they're coming from. That's what I'm trying to say. But it is unusual that my Goliath Ventures Inc. videos have had copyright strikes, even from other scammers. It's hilarious. Denial server attacks. As I said this morning to somebody, my Facebook account's already been removed, but my Instagram's been removed, my TikTok's been removed, and my Reddit account's been removed. And I get a lot of people coming after me in my comment sections of this video. So this video, this blog that I'm doing right now, at the very bottom, there's a place where you can post comments. And I've got the guy that originally had put a proposal together to Christopher, and I got what seemed like a official lawyer document from the courts delivered to me, where Christopher was, their lawyers were offering me what seemed like definitely $150,000 if I shut up. And that was the same person that wrote that email. Looks like we've actually managed to find out who that is, because I've been writing emails in the back end of my website, and we've had their Proton Mail shut down since, which is quite interesting. And we're still in correspondence with Proton Mail, because since we've had Proton Mail shut down for this individual, they're now emailing us with Gmail Yahoo and Hotmail instead of Proton Mail. So we know we've, like the patterns are too close. We can't prove anything, but we can sue it. So crypto crash, we talked about that. $380 million went down. We filed a 22-page motion to dismiss that still hasn't been looked at by the judge in Florida, even though they don't have any jurisdiction with me here in New Zealand. We will see what happens. However, we do have a date where something will happen. I haven't followed it yet. Haven't even looked into it yet because it's a race to the finish line, isn't it, Chris? Did you escape the scam? Whistleblower Optimus. Oh, right. You didn't escape the scam. You benefited from it. So we had somebody just recently come out to us who basically paid me $50. I've received stolen money now, who took out more money than they put in, and they didn't really want to provide us any information. They didn't want to provide us anything, actually, other than a contract. And long story short, they were just trying to cover their own ass, which is a shame. And the one we've done now is via Goliath Ventures Inc., secret bank switch, the collapse behind the transparency spin. And it's this article. So if you wonder how I do my investigations, it's a disclaimer. Here, we don't hack and we don't do anything illegal. We basically use corporate filings, archive web pages, publicly available records. People email us information. We verify everything we do, domain name data, social media activity, and open blockchain transactions. That's how we do it. If you don't know who I am, I don't know where you've been, but I am Dandy the Heck, and we are Dandy the Heck Investigations. I have a podcast as well, which you're more than welcome to subscribe to. You can book for me some of my time. I'm also available for speaking engagements. So stop losing your future financial... Oh, I don't even know how to say that properly. Why is that?
Stop losing your future to financial parasites. Subscribe. Exposed. Protect.
Couldn't have said it better. So I've been featured in Bloomberg, the Guardian newspaper, the New York Times. I've even been in Radio New Zealand on the radio with the people. And that's basically my blog today. So thank you for being here. I hope that was helpful. I woke up this morning and thought I'd better do a update on this crazy letter that Christopher sent out that's been written by ChatGPT, formatted badly. And it's just, thank you, Susie. I see you in there. Get my names right. Cash Patel. It's just Cash with a K, which if you're dyslexic, those names do your head in. Oh my goodness. Hey, look, it's been a bit of an interesting road for me lately. I've done a lot of work on my website. If you haven't been there, I truly, if you read the homepage of what I'm doing and, how I'm surviving, I'll be honest, it's hard work. I find it exhausting. I decided I might even try growing a beard lately, so that's why I'm all hairy today. But I do wake up. It is stressful. It's not something I wake up and feel, oh, goody. I'm getting threats of more legal advice. I've got 3 lawsuits against me at the moment. One's been merged into one, and that's for a lawsuit in Pakistan. And that's been pushed back. If you don't represent yourself in Pakistan, you will they win by default, which means they might get a court injunction to remove some of my content from the internet. And that's because I've been going after the software houses who are promising people from all over the world that they will ghostwrite your book, and they go after people with a lot of money. And a lot of people have paid out well over $100,000. A lady bought me 20 cups of coffee the other day. She had put $125,000 into this company that was going to publish her books. And then they even refunded $25 because she changed her $25,000 because she changed her mind on the Hollywood marketing package. The book has never been published. She's just been scammed. She was grateful that we are exposing these people who are, we call it the Pakistani software houses, who have now set up shop around the world, and mainly in Texas, would you believe? So we've been going after a guy by the name of Azneem Bilwani, and he filed 3 separate court cases in 3 different jurisdictions in Pakistan because he knows it would be very hard for us to represent ourselves. We found representation, and all those have been merged into one. The second one is an individual who's 6 months in New Zealand, 6 months overseas, and they want a blog removed. And I'll actually be having to head down to Queenstown to represent myself, my first time I'm actually representing myself in person to defend the right to have a blog on the internet where I've just told the truth like a journalist would. So it's all a lot happening. And of course, if you go to the Orange County website and search for Dandy the Hit, you'll see that Christopher has tried to come after me. They aren't saying, well, they are saying defamation. They're saying lots of things, but the only reason they're coming after me is to shut me up. And that's what they're doing it for. They don't think I've done something wrong. They just want to shut me up because they want to keep the illusion of their investment opportunity alive as long as they can. But when I see that these individuals are having problems with real world banking systems, or maybe I've got it wrong, but the evidence speaks for itself and I haven't got it wrong, unfortunately. These people aren't bouncing from one bank to the other because they've got a genuine company. They are fighting to keep their scam alive. And as I said at the very start of this blog and this video, is that who's going to get over the finish line first? I'm well ahead of Goliath Ventures Inc. They can hardly see me in the distance. I've got overwhelming evidence. I've got 6 different government agencies that I've been providing information to. I'm your worst nightmare, Christopher, because you have provided me all the swords that you're going to fall on. The information that you have given people to sign, they haven't done the due diligence. I looked at the first contract and I thought, oh my God, people signed this? You won't be able to beat me over the finish line. You won't be able to stop me. And it's not a challenge. I don't really care if I win this race or not, but I do want to be over the finish line. Now, you've got 6 different government agencies coming after you, and I've got a team of Avengers that are helping me fight this battle. I may not be an athlete when it comes to the legal side of it. I might find this exhausting. I might have a bad day every now and again, but I'm the person that will fight this to the end because I don't like people who lie, cheat, and steal. I don't like the bottom feeders that are on the planet like you, Christopher, and you need to be stopped. Matt Burke, Pierce Curry, Nick Patello, whatever your name is, call him Potato. Who else is there? Alex, really? You know, there's a reason why my content's still on the internet. That's because I speak the truth. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, evening, morning, lunchtime. Have it just be great. Be great at what you do. Don't let these bastards take your money. Don't. It's not worth it. We'll fight it for you. Reach out to us. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video, guys. It does help. I don't get many views, but boy, what I say, I have a small voice, but a loud voice. See you in the next video.